Eyes on Me. Are you kidding? Anyways, I love her. I love her stuff. I dropped her. I don't want to talk about it. Santa's in this. It's crazy. I highly recommend it, and I think that more people should be talking about it. Sometimes you just have to trust the vibes. She's a horrible woman. I think that she was that way before The Home. But anyways, I digress. It was honestly captivating. I loved it very much. Okay, now everybody just be cool. You're already wobbling a little bit too much for my liking. This doesn't even include all the ebooks I read. Or my audiobooks. Like, this is just my physical. It is the end of the year, and you know what that means. End of the year book tag. This is always one of my favorites because, like, I feel like throughout the year, I feel like I'm not reading so much because it's split up across time, you know? But when I look at this, and then I know that there's still more on here, crazy. It feels like such a big accomplishment, so let's get into it. I won't be listing off numbers for these questions because I'm gonna forget. Go with the flow, babe. Best recommendation I got this year. Best recommendation, I mean, I find a lot of books sort of on my own. We're gonna go ahead and say it's actually on the absolute bottom. All my answers will be physical books, by the way. I don't know if I've stated that, it's true. I was recommended this, not by any of my friends, but it was just a recommendation off of Instagram that I saw from one of the bookstagrammers that I follow. Beginning of the year, one of my best friends got me a gift card to Barnes & Noble, and so I decided to pick up Grady Hendrix, and I'm really glad that I did because he's become kind of one of my favorite authors this year. I tried a lot of different new authors this year, so I was really happy about that. That was a goal of mine. But this book, I didn't expect to speak to me. I gotta take that sticker off. I didn't expect to speak to me in such a way that it did. There might be some spoilers in this video, but nothing like crazy. But this book is about a bunch of young women who are teen mothers in the 70s being sent away to homes where they will have their children. They will be put up for adoption and they will go home as if nothing happened. In case you guys didn't know, I am the grandchild of a woman that was in one of these homes. She's a horrible woman. I think that she was that way before The Home. But anyways, I digress. There's a little excerpt at the end where you find out what happened to a couple of the children and their children's children. It was a happy ending for one of them. They went on to reconnect, and her daughter and her granddaughter all have a beautiful relationship. And if in my life they didn't suck, I could have had that great relationship, but I don't. I have no contact with both my grandmother and my mother, so this one hit a little bit harder than I think even Grady intended, but nevertheless, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I was sort of consumed by it of like, are they hallucinating this witchcraft or are they actually doing witchcraft? Like, it was honestly captivating. I loved it very much. Okay, you're the stability, so get back under. One day I'm gonna have a system that's not as flawed. It'll still be flawed, but not as flawed. You're saying flawed like that. Anyways, most disappointing book of the year is The Ex-Hex. I read it on my Kindle. I had been looking forward to The Ex-Hex for a very, very long time. I thought it was going to be so fun and so witchy, and you want to know what? The first half was. I really enjoyed the first half. I really thought that it was fun, it was witty, it had banter, and then it was like, once you got to the peak of the book, like the main plot, it was only a page. Like, we heard about how a barista was making money under the table selling potions. We got like a solid 5 pages on that, and the main plot and like the main battle of the book was like a page and a half. That was super disappointing to me, and then it sort of wrapped itself up very quickly. I was like, did we have a deadline that we were gonna not meet if we didn't wrap it up on a certain day, so this is the ending that we got? It was just super disappointing. Really, really looking forward to it. So, won't be reading any more from that collection. What was an underdog book this year? I will tell you. Yes. For me, for underdog, it's sort of something that I think should get more appreciation and more notoriety, but I don't think enough people are talking about it. And for me, I walked into a store in Nashville, Indiana. Stay with me. Yes, it exists. And I saw this book, and it was in October, and I saw this book and it looked so good. I was like, oh, I wonder if this is going to be a bunch, because I really didn't read the synopsis on the back. I saw it and I was like, this is calling to me. Sometimes you just have to trust the vibes. And I was like, maybe this will be a bunch of different like campfire stories, and it kind of was. It was all tied together through this sort of survival guide of how to survive this young woman's campground. I love the texture of this book. I love how it's put together as if it was a woman on a campground ripping out pages and putting them together in a guide for you. I can't wait for the other books to come out. I was genuinely scared. And I watch a lot of like scary movies, you know me, and I read a lot of like thrillers and stuff. I love it. They actually help calm me down, and my therapist actually said that they're a really good outlet for my anxiety. It's like a safe way to have your anxiety express itself without it being in an out of control way. So if you have anxiety, thrillers might be the thing for you. But this book, genuinely, I was like, I can't look outside in the backyard tonight. Like, I can't look in my backyard tonight. Well, the sun is not out. Like, it was so freaky, and I loved it. Like, this, here's what I'll say. Like, this first half, you're pretty scared. But then this, you're in it. You're like, okay, well, what are we gonna do about this? Well, what are we gonna do about the siren with the iron bra that is just taking people out left and right? And why does she like clothes so much? It's so good. It has like every scary mythical creature you could ever think of. It also has like non-scary mythical creatures in this. Santa's in this. It's crazy. I highly recommend it, and I think that more people should be talking about it. We're just gonna put you right back on top. I'm not gonna struggle with that again. What was an overhyped book that you read? Here's what I'll say. I kind of don't like the term overhyped because I feel like, because you can get yourself so worked up and excited over a book that sort of, no matter how it's written, it's gonna let you down because you've just amped it up so much in your mind. So I don't like to go by that definition. But what I will say about this book is that I think it was definitely oversold in the spice department. Allow me to explain. Okay. Everybody be cool. Deep End. I dropped her. I don't want to talk about it. Dropped her within 5 minutes of owning it. Anyways. First of all, let's say the positives, right? We love the sprayed edges. We love the water. Gorgeous. I love the cover. It's very aesthetically pleasing. I liked the story. I think I gave this 4 stars. I did enjoy it. However, I guess for Allie Hazelwood, this was the spiciest book that she's ever written. And I've only read 2 Allie Hazelwoods, this one and Love Hypothesis. I think it was Love Hypothesis. Why do I feel wrong? No, the Love Hypothesis. I'm right. Anyways, I think that this was overhyped in the spice department because everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's so spicy, they're crazy, this is wild. And I read it, and I've read wilder things. What are we doing? I liked the themes of them talking about consent. I like how the consent was clear and everybody knew exactly what was happening sort of the entire time. There was a slight miscommunication in feelings, but it's a book, it has to be interesting that way. Maybe if you've never read a really like spicy book before, this is gonna rattle you a bit. And that I could see. I own the physical copy, so obviously I like the book. So very much enjoyed it. I just think that that aspect is, if somebody says to you, oh my gosh, this is the craziest book I've ever read, evaluate what that person reads and then go from there. A book that surprised you. I picked this up randomly when I was with my ex after we had just gone to Dave & Buster's for 17 hours. There's a bookstore downstairs and I was looking for a different book at the time. What was I looking for? I think I was literally looking for Fall I Want, if I'm not mistaken. Falling Like Leaves. I did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did. I picked it up on a whim because I like the edges. It seems like a very cute fall book. It is closed door. It's definitely YA acceptable, but just use your discretion. It's a love story. However, there's no spice. It's just very cute, and it has every cute fall activity that you could ever want. I stand by the fact that as of right now, I think that this is the perfect fall book. So if you want all of the fall vibes, this is it. It has hay rides. It has Ghost in the Graveyard. It has apple picking. It has pumpkin picking. It has costumes, Halloween ball costumes. It has family turmoil. It has love. It has friendship. It has it all. Very cute. And I was not expecting to love this as much as I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is now one of my favorites. Your favorite book couples of the year. We know. That Fourth Wing is my favorite book, and this is my favorite series. We know. So of course Zayden and Violet are my favorite couple, but also Dane got hot this year. I don't know what Rebecca did. I think she saw that we all hated him and she had to find a way to make him hot, and they did. But Dane and Sloane, they're technically not a couple, but I want them to be. Hello, become a couple, fall in love. Zane and Violet, one of my favorite couples. Dane and Sloane, we could love it. Eyes on Me, are you kidding? Anyways. And then I love Nolan and Harper. They're my favorites. This is definitely, Brynne Weaver's like my favorite dark romance author so far. I love her. I love her stuff. I just ate this book up. I think I did finish this in like a day, maybe 2 days, but I couldn't put it down. I love it. I need harvest season. I need it to be out now. I'm so excited that I get to see Brendan Reaver interview B.K. Borison, so I'm very excited. I need an advanced reader copy. I need to know what happens. I just loved them so much. Their chemistry, they were hilarious, and you know I love a good enemies to lovers. This book was tea, and I love it. Your favorite main characters of the year. Okay, my favorite main characters of the year. Probably my favorite main characters of this year, I mean, I really got into The Summer I Turned Pretty, but I feel like that's a cop-out to just say Conrad because there is one more that I was really hooked on, and that is Tough Score by Kenna King, Reeves' book. I love Reeves. He was one of my favorite on the team. Unfortunately, that book had a lot of typos, which kind of upset me because his book was the one that I was looking forward to the most. However, it was still a really good book. I really enjoyed it, and it was honestly just like the typos, and I feel like she rushed the ending just a little bit. However, I love him and Keely as a couple. I love their chemistry. It is so good. I loved that one. So probably this year I was really looking forward to Reeves' book, and even though how it was executed wasn't my favorite, I'm gonna stick with Reeves. New favorite author you discovered this year. Where are you, my darling? So she's been writing for a while, but this is the book that sort of got me hooked on her, and that is B.K. Borison. She also wrote Good Spirits, and I really love her. She's probably one of my favorite romance authors now. She just has this witty banter and this way that everybody communicates. Her stories have such flow that I don't really get bored ever. There may be a lull here and there, as all books do. I really enjoy her work. She has definitely become one of my favorite authors. Second favorite author this year, Grady Hendrix. So, an author that didn't work out for me this year. Oh yeah. Okay, an author that didn't work out for me this year. They were audiobooks. It's Melania Moretta. I'm pretty sure these books are AI. There's a Silhouette of Love and Made in Leather, and they were little novellas that I got for free on, I'm not even going to call it the website because I don't think that they're responsible for this, but I listened to them on audiobook. They're short novellas. They're like an hour. I'm pretty sure they're written by AI. The amount of times that Enigmatic was used was insane, so I'm just going to let her take the hit on that and say that that author didn't work out for me this year. What is the happiest book I read this year? Okay, what is the happiest book I read this year? What a great question that is. I am gonna go with Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn. It's fun. It's a light read. Yes, there are some serious moments because, again, plot. However, I loved this book. Max is hilarious. Betty plays off of him so well. Their not so meet cute was absolutely perfect. I loved it. It was a good time pretty much the whole time. There's one chapter in that that's a little bit sad, but anyways, this is probably my happiest book of the year. What is the saddest book I read this year? Great question. It's not Summer Without You. I was distraught. It should be obvious if you've watched the phone or read the books. However, this does deal with Susanna passing away, and that is the entire book. And I was sobbing the whole time reading it. I'm like, just get through it to get to the next book. Just keep pushing, Erica. You can do it. Just get through it. So without a doubt, hands down, no further explanation needed. This is the saddest book I read this year. Next question is, what is the most frustrating book you've read this year? We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. Belly, girl. The stress I had thinking that she was really gonna just end up with Captain It Meant Nothing. I was ready to throw this out the window. Release me from this prison that was this book until the last few chapters. Oh my god. Best book adaptation of the year. Did I read anything that became a movie? I mean, there's only 2 books in here that are shows or became shows or movies. So you know what? We're gonna round this off with The Last Summer I Turned Pretty. book because Twilight's been out and it did have its 20th anniversary this year, which is why special edition. However, The Summer I Turned Pretty. I love this show. I have loved this show. I watched the show before I read the books. However, I finished the books before the last season, and I'm really happy that we're getting a movie. In the third book, with the epilogue, it was, yeah, we waited for everybody to get together who they were supposed to be with, and then we kind of didn't get to see any of it. So I'm glad that there's going to be a movie where we can see everybody to be with who they're supposed to be with. But yes, the entire series of The Summer I Turned Pretty was my favorite adaptation, and not just because it's the only one I read that became an adaptation. It was a great show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Your favorite covers this year? I mean, I love all of these covers, if I'm being quite honest. I have to say, my Twilight 20th anniversary special edition has to be my favorite. It's just beautiful. The hardcover case that it comes with as well, instead of a dust jacket. On the back it says, Twilight again, another ending. No matter how perfect the day is, it always has to end. And on the front it has Twilight, obviously, and some blossoms from the meadow. Inside is blossoms. And then of course we know that the pages, you turn it one way, it's Bella. You turn it the other, it is Edward. I just love everything about this edition. I think I might tandem read Midnight Sun and Twilight. I don't know, I haven't decided. A book you haven't stopped thinking about. I feel like this is a cop-out, however. I've given the answer for it already. Taurus Season is my second, but I haven't stopped thinking about Onyx Storm. Write the fourth book, Rebecca. Write it! I'm just kidding. I know that you need, like, your time to recover, but also write it. How can you not think about this ending constantly? Like every fiber of your being, how are you not? I think about this once a week at a minimum of like, where are we going with this? I'm so scared. I'm so excited. Unpopular book that you loved. You know what? Amy Ward, she's hit or miss. I read Honkers Under the Holly, and the thing about Amy Ward's books is that they are all fluff. Yes, they're smut, but they're all fluffy books. Nothing super bad ever happens in them. So therefore, a lot of her books being so fluffy and unrealistic, they're not that popular with people. However, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very cute. It's a very light read, and especially in a time in my life where I'm still processing and just sort of dealing with everything. Now that the holidays are over, I was like, okay, the holidays were a nice distraction, but I really need to process everything now. So I started doing that slowly but surely, especially audiobooks, but books in general have been really like my crutch in helping me through it. And sometimes when the world just gets way too heavy, I put on one of Amy Ward's books, and I really enjoy them. So she's not very popular with a lot of people. However, I like her in the right situation. A popular book you didn't love. So here's the thing. I like it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it, and that is The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood. I know that there's a movie, and I'm gonna go see it. I enjoyed it, but I think that it very much dragged on, and I think that we could have cut some chapters. I think that at one point it got kind of boring, and it took us way too long to get to the point where everybody was sort of copacetic with each other. But I do know that that book is very popular, and I am excited for the movie. However, it was just a 3-star read for me. So, didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I just liked it. A book you thought you'd love, but you did not love. Again, The Ex-Hex. It's gonna be a repeat for me. I just can't. I was super disappointed by that book. It really burned me. I don't want to pick up anything else in the series. I kind of don't care. Book with the most unique concept I've read this year. It's a novella, and it's called Stuffed, a Thanksgiving Romance. You don't see a whole lot of Thanksgiving romances, and I like that the title is silly and funny. This book knows exactly what it is, but I was looking for just like a quick holiday novella, and I was like, this is a Thanksgiving romance, are you kidding? And so it was just a unique concept of that factor of it's not based around Christmas or Halloween. We do have a Thanksgiving romance. You just don't see those a whole lot. The subject itself kind of generic, not that crazy. However, the concept of it being Thanksgiving and everybody's home and playing football, and it's still sort of this like holiday vibe, but it brings the fall vibes as well. I really liked it. What is a book I read this year that I would reread? You know what? I haven't talked about it yet, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, all right. Well, what did everybody not be cool for? Guys, we talked about this. Okay, I have to put one of the hardcovers back on the bottom. Well, obviously, but that's not my answer. I would reread Good Spirits by V.K. Borson. I loved it. I know that this one was a little bit controversial for people. However, I loved it. I thought it was great. I sobbed festively I really loved this concept. I loved Nolan and Harriet. I thought that they were perfect for each other. I loved the concept of sort of this right person, wrong time in the most dramatic way possible. I look forward to Grim Tidings, the next book, but I think I'll definitely reread this next Christmas, especially before Grim Tidings. So I really enjoyed this. I highly recommend it. Priority read for next year. Now, it's a while away. Harvest season, 100% a priority. I have to know what happens with Harper. The ending to Taurus season was insane. So Harvest season, definitely a priority. We definitely have to read that one. Okay, so it says 2025 Goodreads goal reflection and reading goal for 2026. I set the goal for 30. I've actually read 40 this year, so I went 10 over. I actually want to set a goal of 52 books. It's 52 weeks in a year. That's one book a week. I feel I can do it. But I did see, because everybody, you know, this time of year, you didn't read 100 books. Here's the deal. Here's how you break it down. There's 52 weeks in a year. If you read 2 books a week, you will have read 102 to maybe 104 books, depending on when you start for your reading goal, within a year. That same day that you start that book, by the last week of the year, you should have read about 104 books. 102, maybe. Give yourself some grace. But once you break it down sort of like that, 2 books a week feels very accomplishable. So, in my head, 100 books. In my Goodreads, 52. And there will be a lot of audiobooks. Get over it. But that's the goal. A book I wish I got to this year, I didn't finish it. I'm gonna start it in January. Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I really like Grady. I just kind of put it down and I didn't pick it back up. Again, this year's been weird with my breakups, so I've just been reading whatever gives me joy. Brady's book, I definitely want to sit down and finish it in January, so I wish I got into it this year. However, I'll just get to it next year. What will you be prioritizing in your 2026 reading year? Again, I kind of want to try and read 2 books a week just to see if I can get to 100. That's not the goal, but I feel like it's a nice little challenge for myself. It also keeps me from doom scrolling, and it also keeps me from mindlessly worrying. A book will take your mind off of anything. Anyways, goals for reading in 2026. I want to get back into romantasy more thrillers. I've read a lot of romance this year, and a lot of dark romance, and I will in the new year as well. However, I love thrillers, and I read some thrillers, loved them. I want to lean back into thrillers and romantasy some more. And also, I joined a book club that is a romantasy book club, and we have one unhinged read a year, I guess, and that unhinged read is going to be a monster romance. I've never read a monster romance. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I DNF it. They said directly, they're like, if you DNF it, let us know. We want to hear about it. Come to book club. Tell us why you DNF'd it. So I'm excited for that. I want to branch out more in that way as well, which is why I'm glad I joined the book club, because I think it's going to introduce me to a lot of different books, and especially helps me stay on goal for romantasy reads. And finally, goals for my reading and bookish content in 2026. I kind of started doing it this year. Again, after the breakup, I sort of lost my inhibitions and didn't care. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna post whatever I want. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I get sometimes nervous to post because I still live in my small town. Because honestly, a lot of people from my hometown don't like me, and they do enjoy making fun of me. They always have. So I sort of hit the button this year, and I'm like, you know what, that's fine, make fun of me, because nobody's talking about you. You're all talking about me, nobody's talking about you. So I'm gonna post whatever I want. And once I hit that sort of button, the world sort of opened up, and I'm getting advanced reader copies, I'm getting free books sent to me, I'm getting PR, I'm meeting my favorite authors. So my goal is to just keep that energy and to just post and fully lean into it. I was so scared to really declare my YouTube channel as like a booktube, because I was so scared to be like, well, if I post a vlog, people won't want to watch it. But no, this is my channel, and I feel like you guys watch my content for me and what I have to say about books, where we go. You guys still enjoy the vlogs, even though they're not totally book centered. Y'all love the one of me golfing, so definitely gonna show you more of that this summer. However, I need to just go with the flow and not overthink it and just post, because it's been making me happy, and I'm hoping that we can get enough watch hours this year for me to get monetized on YouTube. But if not, that's okay. I appreciate you guys being here anyways. Yeah, those are the goals. This was my 2025 end of the year book tag. This is everything I read. Caught you. You tried it. Didn't work. She's sassy. Ever since she got a makeover. Sassy. This is everything I read. And I had a very great year of reading, and I can't wait to see what I read in 2026. Who knows? I'm trying to open up to more genres and more books and more authors, so I can't wait to see where we're at this time next year and everything I've read. That is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the new year. Bye guys.